morning, students. So in the previous lecture we have studied about first law of Newton. So further we are going to proceed in this chapter, that is law of motion. Second law of Newton's. Now what does the second law of Newton say is that the rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied. What it is? Rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied, and the change in the momentum is towards the direction of force. Okay, so this is the second law of Newton. Now before understanding this law, let us understand what is the term momentum. Momentum is nothing, mass into velocity. Okay, mass into velocity is known as what? Momentum, and it is represented as letter P. Mass into velocity. Velocity is a vector quantity, I told you before. So therefore momentum will also be a what? Vector quantity. Will be a vector quantity. What will be its SI unit? SI unit of mass is kg, and velocity is meter per second. So it is kg meter per second. Okay. So what is momentum? It is product of mass into velocity. Since velocity is a vector quantity, momentum will also be a vector quantity, and the unit will be kg meter per second. Now, what is the change in momentum? We are talking about rate of change of momentum. Now, change in momentum will be, or rate of change of momentum when we find rate of change of anything, what we do? Final minus initial. Now, final is V. So, what will be initial velocity? U. We have learned that. So, momentum will be final momentum minus initial momentum upon time t. I told you, whenever the word rate comes, you have to take t in the denominator, that is time. So, what is the formula now? mv minus mu upon t represents what? Rate of change of momentum. Let us take m common here. So what will become? V minus u upon t. Now do you remember the formula of acceleration? What was it? A is equals to v minus u upon t. And this particular thing you can see here, m is equals to a. Now this becomes m is equals to a, rate of change of momentum. And the law says that rate of change of momentum is directly proportional. Directly proportional to what? Force applied. Now what is the symbol for force? F. F is directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. क्या मिला हमको rate of change of momentum? It is nothing but ma. So force is directly proportional to ma, that is mass into acceleration. To remove this proportionality sign, what we are going to do? We will add a constant. Let's suppose k. So it becomes F is equals to km. But since this k is always constant, we don't take it into consideration. So the formula for force becomes F is equals to ma. Remember, force is nothing but mass. So in second law of motion, we study that rate of change of momentum is what? ma, which is directly proportional to the force, and therefore force is what? K into ma, and force is equals to mass into acceleration. What you will remember? Force is equals to mass. Now what is the SI unit of force? SI unit of force is nothing but Newton. What it is? Newton, or you can write it as capital N. Okay. Also it is what? This is mass, kg. Acceleration किसमें होता है? Meter per second square. So it is also kg meter per second square. Can also be its SI unit, and together it is known as what? Newtons. Okay. And CGS unit of force is dyne. What it is? Dyne. And SI unit is Newton, or kg meter per second square. Okay. So this is all what we study in second law of motion. Now going on to the third law. What does the third law of Newton says? every action there is an equal and opposite reaction acting simultaneously. What it is? For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction acting simultaneously. Now, for example, if you say, if I am hitting a ball with a bat, what will happen? I am giving force. Okay, my action, I am putting it on the bat and I am hitting the ball. So what is happening? I am giving force to the ball. What is the reaction of the ball? It is going far away from the place. So this is called as what? Action and reaction. I gave an action and hit the ball and the ball moved in the same direction. Also, one example of equal and opposite reaction is rocket. A rocket launcher. What happens when a rocket launch? ऐसे तो चुटकी में rocket launch होगा नहीं. It takes lots of energy. Okay, so what happens when rocket leaves the earth or it leaves the earth's surface? What will happen? It takes tremendous amount of energy. So what happens कि rocket जितना तेजी से वो ऊपर जाएगा उतना ही force it will give on the earth. You see, when the rocket launches, there are so much smoke, fire coming out of it. So the amount of energy rocket requires to fly, that much amount of energy it is going to give back to the earth on the surface. And that is called as equal and opposite reaction. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction acting simultaneously. ऐसा नहीं कि rocket आज launch हुआ and the reaction will be tomorrow. It will be at the same particular time. And this is called as what? Newton's third law of motion. For every action, जैसे कि कोई भी action हम लोग करेंगे उसका कोई ना कोई reaction होता है. Suppose if your friend slaps you, what will be your instant reaction? You will slap him back. So the action was same. You both slapped each other. But what? In the opposite direction, he slapped you and you slapped your friend. So this is what? For every action, you give a reaction which is in opposite direction but equal in amount. Okay? Now moving on to the next part of the chapter, that is law of conservation of momentum. What it is? Law of conservation of momentum. Now we studied momentum. What it was? Mass into velocity. And rate of change of momentum, it was ma. Now law of conservation of mass तो हमने सुना है. What it is? Mass can never be created nor be destroyed. It remains same in the universe. Same for the momentum. Momentum can neither be created nor be destroyed, or it remains same in the universe. Now what is a momentum? Let's suppose this is the two objects. Okay, this object is coming in some velocity and it hits this object. So what will happen? The speed of this object will decrease. It transfers its speed to this particular object and this now moves little forward. So what happened? Mass इसका same रहेगा. इसकी velocity यहाँ पे आई. It hits this and this moves further. So what happens? The change in velocity took place. Mass of both of them remain same. So before collision, मतलब टकराना is called as collision. So before collision and after collision, the momentum जो था, mass into velocity जो था, it will remain same. Okay? The momentum now, my hand, right hand does what has more momentum. Same will be, my left hand will have the same momentum after collision. Okay, so this is called as law of conservation of momentum. Okay, momentum before collision and after collision remains same, or the final momentum is equal to the initial momentum. Now how it will be possible? Let us study. Let us suppose there are two objects having mass m1 and having mass m2. ठीक है, and having initial velocity u1, having initial velocity u2, having final velocity v1 and having final velocity v2. Now what is happening? They both are getting collide. मतलब collision is going to occur in them. So what will happen? It is applying force in this particular direction and this is going to apply force in this particular direction. So this is F1 and this is F2. See, the amount of force in both of them is same, but the direction is different. This F1 is going towards what? Right hand side, and this F2 is coming towards left hand side. So the direction of force is changed, but the amount is same. So what will be the formula? F1 will be equal to F2, but the direction is opposite, therefore we need to put a negative sign just to show that the direction of both of them force are in the opposite direction. Okay, now we know the formula of force. What it was? F is equals to ma, हमने पढ़ा था. So just substitute. F1 is there, so what will it be? M1 A1, and F2 is there, so what it will be? Minus M2 A2. Okay, done. Now we know the formula of acceleration. What it is? Change in velocity upon time. So let us substitute that. M1 will be V1 minus U1 upon T, and minus M2, that is V2 minus U2 upon T. Both of them time will be same. So denominator is same, so we can just cancel this time. So what remains now? M1 in bracket V1 minus U1 is equals to minus M2 into bracket V2 minus U2. Okay, clear? What we did? We took two objects having mass M1, M2, initial velocity U1, U2, final velocity V1, V2, and both of them have force what? F1 and F2 on each other, but in opposite direction. Therefore, the equation comes out to be F1 is equals to minus F2. Now we know the formula of force, which is Ma. So M1 A1 is equals to minus M2 A2. A is what? Acceleration, that is change in velocity upon time. What it is? V1 minus U1 upon T, and V2 minus U2 upon T. T is common, so it will getting cancelled. Now just rearrange them. M1 V1 minus M1 U1 is equals to minus M2 V2, minus minus it will become plus M2 U2. Okay, so M1 V1 minus M1 U1 is equals to minus M2 V2 plus M2 U2. Now what we are going to do? Rearrange them. So M1 V1, this is minus, so it will become plus M2 V2 is equals to M2 U2 is there, so it will remain there only. This minus M1 U1 will go there, it will become plus M1 U1. Okay, so what it comes out to be? M1 V1 plus M2 V2 is equals to M2 U2 plus M1 U1. See, यहाँ पे सिर्फ final velocity, that is V is there. Here only initial velocity of both of the masses are there. So the initial velocity, initial momentum is equal to the final momentum. You can see this was my initial momentum. Momentum is what? Mass into acceleration. So if I am talking about this particular mass, so what it will be? M1 U1 will be its momentum initially, then M2 U2 will be the second mass ka momentum. Similarly, final momentum will be what? M1 V1 and M2 V2. Both of them are equal. See, sum of final velocity, final momentum is equal to sum of initial momentum, and this verifies the law of conservation of momentum. Okay, so momentum everywhere in the universe is going to remain constant because final momentum is equal to the initial momentum, and which we have derived up till now. Okay, what we are going to take? Mass M1, M2, their initial and final velocity. Forces are on the opposite direction, so F1 will be minus F2. Substitute the value of force, then substitute the value of acceleration and solve it out, and you will get final momentum. This is my final momentum. Will be equal to what? Initial momentum. Will be equal to what? Initial momentum. Okay. So this completes what? Law of motions chapter. Now let us just revise what we have studied. Firstly, we have studied what? What is distance and what is displacement, difference between them. Okay, distance is a scalar quantity, displacement is a vector quantity. Then we studied speed. Speed is equals to scalar quantity. Again, because we are using distance and speed. Velocity is what? Vector quantity. Then we studied what? Acceleration. Okay, small a. What it was? V minus u upon t. Okay, rate of change of velocity is nothing but acceleration. Then we studied 4 types of graph. Okay, 4 types of graph. Which were they? Distance time graph, distance time graph for uniform motion. What is uniform? Uniform is something which remains constant or it is equal everywhere or every time. Then we studied second graph, that was distance time graph for non-uniform motion. For what? Non-uniform motion. Okay. In uniform motion, I told you, whenever there is a uniform motion ka graph, uniform velocity, uniform acceleration, the graph will be always what? A straight line graph. It can be passing through origin or it cannot be passing through origin, but it will always be a straight line graph only. Okay. The third we studied was velocity time graph. Velocity time graph for uniform velocity. And the last one we studied was velocity time graph for uniform acceleration. Okay, what we studied? Velocity time graph for uniform acceleration. So we studied distance, displacement, speed, velocity, what is acceleration, and we also studied 3 types of acceleration, that were positive, negative and zero acceleration. Then we studied 4 types of graph: distance time graph for uniform motion, distance time graph for non-uniform motion, velocity time graph for uniform velocity, velocity time graph for non-uniform acceleration. Okay. Then we come to the major part of the chapter, that was we studied what? 3 kinematical equations. 3 kinematical equations. And what were they? B is equals to u plus at. Next one was S is equals to ut square plus half at square. And third one was b square is equals to u square plus 2as. Okay. So these were S is equals to ut plus half at square. B is equals to u plus at. S is equals to ut plus half at square. And b square is equals to u square plus 2as. We drew the graph and we derived these 3 kinematical equations. Then we come on to the next part, that was 3 laws of. First law of Newton says that the object remains at rest or in a uniform motion until and unless an unbalanced force acts on it. Okay, we studied what was balanced force and unbalanced force. So the law says that the object remains at rest or in a uniform motion until and unless an unbalanced force is going to act on it. Okay, so remember the word unbalanced here. If the force is not unbalanced, there will be no change in the position of the object. Okay, so the force need to be unbalanced. Okay, अगर balanced force रहेगा, so the object will not move ना. If I am applying force in this direction as well as in this direction, then there will be no change in the position of this object. Okay, so remember, unbalanced force is very, very important. Second law of Newton's which we studied today was that rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied, and the change in the momentum is directly towards the force. What it is? Rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to the force applied, and change in the momentum is what? directed towards the force applied. What it was, and we came to the formula F is equals to mass into acceleration. Okay, and we studied momentum is nothing but mass into velocity. Okay, so second law states that F is equals to mass into acceleration. Moving on to the third law, what it says, for every object, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction acting simultaneously. What it is, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. It should be equal as well as it should be in the opposite direction and at the same time. This explains third law of motion. Then we studied law of conservation of momentum. What it was, final momentum is always equal to the initial momentum. Also, momentum before collision and momentum after collision remain same, or the momentum is neither created nor destroyed, and it is constant in the universe. Okay, so this says law of conservation of mass, and then we complete this chapter, laws of motion.